better people. You know what I mean? Because what he had to say about the Brittney Griner situation, whether you agree or disagree with it.
What was his take on
his take on it? And we can insert that, Taylor. But his take on it was that, it's just a political stunt from the Biden administration, to garner support in 2024 because Brittney Griner checks off a lot of boxes. It checks off woman box, black box, LGBTQ, and celebrity. And I mean, I think I'm pretty sure at this point it's safe to say Brittney was a political pawn, not just even for the USA, but for Russia as well.
Yeah.
Russia used her to get back their merchant of death, and now Biden has another thing he can put on his resume to say that he got done, and it's a cultural thing that people wanted to get done. People are going to remember that. That's one of those things that nobody's going to ever forget in regards to President Biden and the Biden administration.
And what's been interesting is that there's been this comparison made between Brittney Griner and I believe something Whelan.
Paul Whelan. Yeah, former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan.
And what was Paul Whelan doing in Russia?
He got I don't know. I forgot what he was actually doing there, but he got arrested for espionage. But
was he spying?
No, he said he wasn't.
I mean, of course, that's what you said. That's what I would say. No, I'm not spying. Just on vacation. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think it's a fair comparison if his job was to go there and spy. Because if your job is
he was working for some security firm or something like that.
I guess what I'm trying to say is if your job is to go somewhere and spy and then you get captured, right? And then you're comparing that to a woman whose job was to go play basketball and she fucked up by bringing drugs in there. But the only reason that she was put in jail in this way is because she's famous and she was a tool. It was a proxy.
Go back to that, Taylor.
But I'm just, people are making this comparison. They're like, why are we letting this girl out who quote unquote hates America versus this guy who sacrificed for America?
Yeah.
And it's well, the reason why they're in prison might be different things.
Yeah, Taylor's amazing.
What'd she say?
She just informed us that Paul Whelan was accused of spying.
Oh wow!
No, we were sure.
And we were sure what he was accused of. We didn't know if
he actually was spying.
Like for example, I did a show in Russia. They could easily, and I was actually concerned about this. They could easily, at any point in time, go, "Oh, this guy's out here. He's out here on behalf of the United States of America. He's trying to put out information or research different parts of Moscow so they can attack him. Let's lock this motherfucker up."
Yeah,
that. They could have done that at any point in time. And trump up some weird charges and then
that's right.
Him out of here.
Let's insert the Paul Whelan clip here, Taylor. But Paul Whelan said, I was arrested. He called CNN last night. He said, I was arrested for a crime that never occurred. I don't understand why I'm still sitting here. Whelan, a former Marine who was a U.S., Irish, British, and Canadian citizen, was detained at a Moscow hotel in December 2018 by Russian authorities, alleged he was involved in an intelligence operation. He was convicted and sentenced in June 2020 to 16 years in prison, and a trial U.S. officials denounced as unfair.
I would say that if a message could go to President Biden that, this is a precarious situation that needs to be resolved quickly. And I would hope that he and his administration would do everything they could to get me home, regardless of the price they might have to pay at this point.
Here's the thing. I can't believe the Biden administration didn't prepare for this backlash. As soon as this broke yesterday, and we talked about it on Breakfast Club, after I, saluted Brittney for coming home and, gave the Biden administration their props, cool. The second thing I said was, but y'all about to get crazy backlash because there's a former U.S. Marine named Paul Whelan who they were talking about doing a 2-for-1 deal for.
Yeah, and 2-for-1.
And I said, everybody's going to say WNBA player versus somebody who served the country.
Yeah.
Right-wing media is going to eat that up.
Yeah.
They're going to eat that up.
They propped it up.
And then and for a merchant of death.
But wasn't he working for us too? Because I watched that movie. Lord
I heard that too, yeah.
So that's the other thing that's weird about this is we locked up a dude who we were also working with.
I heard that. I don't know if that's true, but I heard that. Yeah. And he definitely plotted on killing a bunch of Americans. He definitely supplied weapons that killed a bunch of Africans and Afghans. So, I mean...
that's the other thing I was thinking, right? How there's so many, unstable nations in Africa, right? Especially the ones that have all these incredibly valuable natural resources.
Yeah.
Doesn't it behoove the countries that are extracting those natural resources to keep those nations as unstable as possible so that they can't organize and find a way to nationalize those resources and then make it far more expensive to remove them.
Yeah, if you keep everybody else in chaos, but you're organized to do what it is you want to do, meaning take those resources from that country, you'll never lose.
Like, it's no surprise. Like,
they're doing it to us here now.
100%. But I'm also like, if you look at the Congo, right, which is, I think, the most resource-rich region in the world, right? It's also one of the most unstable places. And I'm like, this can't be a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be purpose here, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like it.
You keep everybody confused. You keep everybody in chaos. They'll never pay attention to what you're really doing.
Because I guess if you look at the Middle East, right? We were extracting oil in the Middle East far before they were these organized, incredibly wealthy nations.
But what did we have to do before we started extracting oil?
War.
Exactly.
No. But I'm saying what I'm saying is maybe they learned from what happened in the Middle East, and they were like, oh shit, we allowed these people to profit enormously off of the oil money that was extracted. We, being, Great Britain, the United States, many other countries, developed all the infrastructure. They weren't developing the sophisticated infrastructure. Then once they made billions and trillions of dollars, they were like, okay, we don't need you guys extracting anymore. Now you're going to have to pay for the oil. And now I imagine the Western countries going, ooh, we fucked up there. We let shit be too sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It was way better when they were in chaos and we were just yanking that shit out and paying whatever fucking propped up leader they have.
That's right.
It's kind of like...
Bro, keep people in chaos, man. I'm telling you, why do you think every day on social media is some shit? And that's what I said yesterday. I'm like, oh God, today's going to be one of them shit shows online. Because I knew it was going to happen. I knew that the right-wing media was going to be highly upset that, Paul Whelan wasn't home. I knew they were going to be highly upset that they traded a merchant of death for Brittney Griner. I knew that, once that faction of Black Twitter and, what they call the Hoteps found out that, this dude, Victor, was responsible for the death of a bunch of Africans. I knew that was going to turn into something. I knew that people was going to say, oh, this is an agenda because Brittney's LGBT. Like, it was so predictable, and all the usual suspects did what they always do. And what did we do all day yesterday? Fuss and fight. And who knows what the fuck was really going on in the world yesterday. You know what I mean?
Right. But this is a good lesson. Like, you get locked up abroad. If I get locked up abroad, I'm gay.
Why? That's the last thing you want to do is be in some of these countries.
No, but I need extra boxes to bring me back.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
I'm gay.
I get what you're saying.
I'm Chinese.
I will say.
I'm all the whatever it is that you need to curry favor with, that's me.
I will say, though, man, the Brittney situation did show me what, communities are capable of, when they decide to organize and strategize and bring awareness and attention to something.
Oh, you think that's what made it happen?
100%. Like, yo, I don't even know what endorsement deals Brittney got. And you know why I don't know? Because they don't do a good job of marketing her as people have done over the past 7 to 8 months. You know what I mean? The whole We Are BG campaign, constantly talking about her. Yo, not even on the low. Paul Whelan benefits from Brittney Griner.
Yeah.
Being arrested.
Yeah.
I never heard of Paul Whelan.
Yeah.
I never heard of Paul Whelan until the Brittney Griner situation.
And now conservatives got to carry through on all the shit they're talking about it. Right? Because if you're going to prop him up and say, look how unfair it is, when you get in power, you better get his ass back.
Yeah.
You talked all that shit about how important he is and the sacrifices he made. You talked all that shit.
Yeah.
You better make sure that that's not just fluff to criticize the Biden administration. You better make sure you actually care about that, man.
Yo, the ill thing is Russia probably sitting back like, hold up. So a WNBA player gets caught with a weed pen, Brittney Griner, and they gave us the merchant of death for her.
Yep.
Oh, we definitely not giving up Paul for nothing. We're not giving up Paul for nothing less than 5 first-round picks. You know what I'm saying? 5. Seriously. Like that's literally what it is. I know that's why they're keeping Paul Whelan now. They're like, oh, this what we got for this? Oh, I know. Oh my God. You know?
Biden got bodied in that trade for sure.
Easily.
Absolutely.
But I mean, listen, it might help him to Dr. Umar's point, it might help him in 2024.